Welcome to those in the audience and those at home. My name is Jason Flatford, and I'll be your host for Judge Jeopardy. We have three handsome competitors today. A father, professor, and a level 2 judge from Carbondale, Illinois, James Elliott. A full-time student, regional coordinator for the Central United States, Dan Stevens. A materials research engineer and regional coordinator for the Northeastern United States, Sean Doherty. If you gentlemen are ready, let's get started. Here's the game board for the first round. That took me hours to do, by the way. And these are the categories: Magic History, Digging into Layers, It's Not PCV, Next Level, Two-Headed Giant by the Numbers, and Weird Cards. Sean, you won the die roll, so you get to select first.
I'll take Magic History for 200.
Faster than a speeding bullet, this type of spell was a way of breaking your opponent's train of thought.
Sean?
Sean?
What is Split Second?
No.
Dan?
Dan?
What is an interrupt?
That is correct. Dan, please select the next category.
You're in the hall.
We'll go
Please report to the side
Magic
of the stage.
History for
David
400.
Martin Jr.
Magic History for 400.
Please report to the side of the stage.
Replaced by the stack, spells used to resolve in these.
Dan?
Dan?
What are batches?
Batches is correct. Dan, pick the next category.
Magic History 600.
This obsolete term for artifacts meant that the artifact had an activated ability without a tap symbol.
Sean?
Sean?
What are mono artifacts?
That is incorrect.
Dan?
Dan?
What are poly artifacts?
Yes, poly artifacts. Without a tap symbol.
Without it. I gotta read the whole question.
Dan?
800.
Magic History for 800. Previously triggering leave play events, but not interplay events, permanents with this ability no longer leave the battlefield.
Dan?
Dan?
What is phasing?
Phasing is correct. Dan?
1000.
Finishing out this category. Players did this if they disagreed on a central fact of the game, such as life totals.
Dan?
Dan?
Failure to agree on reality.
Failure to agree on reality. That used to be an actual penalty.
Yes.
Dan takes the category.
We'll try Weird Cards for 200.
Weird Cards for 200. You'll be waiting a long time for this green creature to decide whether it wants to destroy that artifact or not.
Sean? What
Sean.
is Floral Spasm?
Yes, that is
Players in
correct.
the full layer tournament. Welcome to round
And Sean
3.
is on the board.
You have 50 minutes. You may
I'll
begin.
take Weird Cards for 400.
She's the only black bordered card that can create a subgame.
Players in standard grinder number 8. Players in standard grinder number 8. Your pairings are now being
Be
posted.
Scheherazade. Scheherazade.
Really, guys?
Sean, you picked last, I believe.
I'll take Weird Cards for 600.
That is the audio daily double. Before we start the clue, Sean, how much would you like to wait? What is his points first,
I
Aaron?
got nothing.
Sean is under 600.
Under 600. So
Thank you.
you can wager up to 1,000.
Ooh, we'll go 600. 600.
600.
Yes.
Hello, this is CJ, Jess, and Brian from JudgeCast.
And we are bringing you your audio daily double.
Having traveled through the desert on a horse with no name, this creature from the dark races to be different by having no creature type.
Field grinder number 15. Your pairings are
what
now
is
being
Nameless Race?
posted.
That is correct. Nameless Race. Sean is up to 1,200. Please,
we'll
Nameless
go,
Race.
We'll go Weird Cards for 800.
Weird Cards for 800. Your opponents will need godly levels of patience if you start drawing games with this 8-mana white enchantment from Legends.
Sean.
Sean?
What is Divine Intervention?
Divine Intervention is correct.
We'll finish it up. Weird cards for 1,000.
Sean knows his weird cards. Alien Leprechaun's creature type. Hint, it's not Leprechaun. It's a fairy. It's a fairy, guys. Leprechauns are fairies, apparently.
Of course, of course.
Sean.
Guess next leveled for 200.
Next leveled. Judges of this level or higher can certify new judges.
Dan.
Dan.
Level 2 or higher.
Level 2 or higher is correct. Dan, pick a category.
400, please. Next
Okay.
level.
3,395, give or take a few.
Dan.
Dan?
What is the number of judges in the program?
Number of judges in the program, that is correct.
Next level to 600.
This blue-eyed robot is the program's newest level 4. That happens to be my boss.
Dan.
Dan.
Who is Jared Silva?
That is correct. He is a robot.
Next level to 800.
Toby Elliott, Jason LeMahieu, Scott Marshall, and Ricardo Tessitore.
Sean.
What are level 5 judges?
That is correct. Jason, I hope I didn't butcher that.
You can fix the spelling next time.
Next leveled for 1,000.
Beyond level 5, this level consists of the undisputed leaders of the judge program who have stepping back from active judging.
Sean.
Sean?
What is Emeritus?
Sure. I call it emeritus, but yeah.
Close enough. Digging into layers for 200.
Within a layer or sublayer, determining which order effects are applied in is usually done using these.
Sean.
Sean?
What are timestamps?
Timestamps is correct.
Digging into layers for 400.
Effects are applied in this layer first because, well, they have to be for the game to work.
Sean.
Sean?
What is copy?
Copy is right. Copy effects is right.
Layers for 600.
A humility and a painter servant naming a red on the battlefield. This is the color or colors of humility.
Magic players, Sam Wallach, John Barlack.
No one likes humility
If you're in the
questions.
menu, please
What?
come to the stage.
Dan.
What is red and white?
Red and white is correct. It is in addition to its colors, so it's red and white. You get to pick the next category.
Let's do PCV. It's not PCV for 200.
After 3 minutes into a round at a Pro Tour qualifier, a player has not completed his shuffling.
James.
James?
What is tardiness?
No. Dan or Sean?
Sean.
What is slow play?
Slow play is correct.
The panic.
Slow play is correct.
It's not PCV for 400.
A player who is playing first incorrectly draws a card during her first draw step.
Sean.
Sean?
What is improper draw at start of game?
That is correct.
It's not PCV for 600.
A player in a booster draft intentionally peeks at the cards from which his neighbor is selecting.
Sean.
Sean?
Ooh, hidden information violation.
Attention players in Sealed Grinder 15, your pairings have been posted.
Dan or James? What is unsporting conduct cheating? The new IPG bit you a little bit there, right?
I know, they changed it on me. We'll go, it's
Sean?
not PCV for 800.
Okay. A player forgets to shuffle his library after searching for a card.
Sean.
What is insufficient randomization?
Judge, can we take that? All right, that's good.
Insufficient shuffling.
Insufficient shuffling.
Insufficient shuffling.
Is the answer
Sorry,
there.
I'm old.
You are.
Sean?
It's not PCV for 1,000.
A player forgets to pay the cumulative upkeep costs for a creature.
Dan.
Dan?
No infraction.
No.
Magic players, standard ground number 10. Your pairings are now being posted. Standard ground number 10.
James or
your
Sean?
pairings are now being posted.
James?
What is a miss trigger?
That is correct. It's a miss trigger. And James is on the board, that's right.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll hit a streak. Let's go 800 for digging into the layers.
When effects in a single layer or sublayer have to be applied out of order, it's because of this concept.
Sean.
Sean.
What is dependency?
That is correct. Dependency.
We'll finish up the digging into layers for 1,000.
Before Return to Ravnica, a new card with this effect in this layer hadn't been printed since Eventide.
Sean.
Sean.
What is color changing?
No. Dan or James? What are text changing effects? Text changing effects. Makes sense, right? We just have two-headed giant by the numbers.
I guess we'll go for 200.
200. The minimum number of teams required to start a sanctioned tournament.
James.
4.
4 is correct.
400, please.
400. A team's starting life total.
James.
30.
30 is correct. Getting a little bit on a roll there.
600.
The number of poison counters needed to lose the game.
James.
James.
15.
15 is correct.
Okay.
800.
800. Two-headed giant sealed teams received this much time for deck construction.
James.
James.
Well, 50 minutes.
50 is not correct.
Dan.
What is 40 minutes?
40 minutes is not correct. Sean?
No.
All right, the answer is 60. 60 minutes.
That was my
Sure,
other
the
guess.
sealed
That was
team.
your other guy.
To finish up this round of play, the number of extra turns a match receives if it goes to time.
Sean.
3.
3 is correct.
Good job, GHG champs.
Yeah.
And that concludes this round of play. Aaron, can you give me the scores, please?
Leading is Sean with 4,800.
Sean has 4,800.
Dan has 3,000.
Dan has 3,000.
And James has 1,200.
And James has 1,200 points. That means, James, you will pick first in the next round.
Oh, thanks, sir.
Before we go to the next round, I have a couple questions of our contestants. Just try to get to know them a little bit. James, you're a new father, right?
Yes,
how's that
indeed,
working out
Trebek.
for you?
How's that working out?
How's that working out for you?
Working out very nice. Although nobody warned us about flying poop. We have not been told about flying poop, but we're getting it under control.
I can imagine flying poop would be pretty
That
bad.
is a great concern in the household. It really is.
You have some history with Dan, right?
Yeah, a lot of history. We used to, before we were judges, we played at the same shop, the Book Nook, just outside Fort Wayne. And Dan always seems to be, I always seem to be in Dan's shadow whenever I'm judging.
Yeah.
About a year ago, I was at a shop just outside St. Louis, and one of the shop owners said, "Oh, you're that judge, you're James Elliott, aren't you?" I said, "Yes, I am." He said, "Yeah, you're pretty good. You're no Dan Stevens, but you're pretty good."
I think we all get that from time to time, anyways.
I don't.
Dan, speaking of Dan, something interesting's happening in your life, right?
That's right. After this event, we will be driving home to Indianapolis.
Yeah.
And then we will start a 34-hour car ride to move to San Francisco,
Yeah.
where my wife has a new job.
A new job. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Sean, you have an interesting card collection, I hear.
Well, I think it came up in the weird card collection. I collect floral spasms, in fact.
Yeah.
I mean, well,
How many do you have?
in the hundreds plus.
Hundreds?
Number, yes.
Attention Magic players.
Would you say that's
Standard
more than
grinder
anyone
number
else?
10. Your
I don't know if
parents
it's more
are
than anyone
posted.
else, but you have to be careful getting them
Standard
together.
grinder number 10.
And
Your
how do you
parents
collect
are
all those
posted.
cards?
How do you collect them all?
Yeah. How do you collect them?
Well, you go to enough of these events and you try to find places that have them, and you find out. And the good thing about floral spasm, you can just ask them things. So you can find out.
You can ask the card.
You can ask
right.
the card that, right? It gets to decide things.
Right.
So really, you don't choose floral spasms. Floral spasms choose you.
Awesome. So let's go ahead into the next round of play. And our categories for the second round.
Point.
Judging at regular REL. Resources. It's still not PCV. Before and after. Stupid answers.
Oh, Sean. Yeah, good.
And flavor text. James, you were behind last round, so you get to pick first.
I think it's destined to be stupid answers.
For
400.
400. Combat damage is dealt during this phase.
Sean.
What is the combat during the combat step or combat phase?
Judge? All right, we're gonna give it to him.
Oh man.
Sean.
I'll take stupid answers for 800.
Sure. Why not?
Why not?
These level 3 judges coordinate and answer questions about judges in the region. They also have input on staffing decisions.
Sean.
Who are regional coordinators?
Yes, that is correct.
I'm the natural at this. I'll take stupid answers for 1,200.
Players in seal grinder number 14.
Players commit this infraction if they violate the policy in the MTR that governs communication.
Sean.
What is communication policy violation?
Yes, that's correct. Good job, Sean.
Okay, I'm sensing a pattern here, so I'm going to go stupid answers for 1,600.
Why not? Ulgrotha, the homeland of Baron Sengir, was the setting for this early expansion.
Dan.
What is homelands?
Yes, homelands. Homelands.
Stupid answers, 2,000.
Get it now. 2,000. This document is a policy on who gets invited to play in premier events.
Sean.
The premier event invitation policy.
That is correct. all those words were on there. All right, Sean.
Oh, geez, we're all out of stupid answers.
There are more, trust me.
Oh, don't worry. We'll go resources for 400.
This site is where you can create judge
Players
exams,
in
write
Sealed
reviews,
11.
and enter investigations.
Please
Sean.
come see
what is the
Judge
Judge Center?
Blaine.
That is
Players in
correct.
11, come see Judge Blaine.
I got 2 hands.
Sean?
Stage.
We'll go resources for 800.
Players
An
in
old
Seal
school online
14.
chat system that hosts
Your
the
parents are now
MTD
posted.
Judge and MTD
Players in
Rules
Seal number
channels.
14.
Dan.
Please find your
Dan.
seats.
What is IRC?
IRC is correct.
Resources 1,200.
The goal for this website is to collect as much information as possible about judging, so it's readily available.
Dan.
What is the Judge Wiki?
The Judge Wiki is correct. It's an incredible resource.
Resources 1,600.
Information about forums, projects, and event applications can be found here.
Dan.
apps.magicjudges.org.
Extra points for getting the entire URL.
It's for you
No,
at home.
I was kidding.
Resources 2,000, please.
This pair of similarly named podcasts help to keep judges in the know.
Dan.
What is JudgeCast and JudgeCast North?
That is correct.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Good job, Dan.
Thanks.
Magic players, Josh Bryson.
We'll do.
If
It's
you would like
still
to
not
continue
PCV
your grinder,
for 400.
you
Still
need
not
to come
PCV
to
for
the stage.
400. A player
Josh
exceeds the
Bryson
amount of
to
time
stage,
allotted for a pick
please.
during a draft.
Sean.
Draft procedure violation.
That is correct.
We'll go. It's still not PCV for 800.
A player is asked to leave the play area and is still watching a match a few minutes later.
James.
Unsporting conduct major.
Major. I would hope you would get that since you presented on it earlier. James.
Let's try and shake these guys up. Let's go for judging at regular for 400.
Players at regular REL events are now allowed to not mention these when their opponents miss them.
Dan.
What are mistriggers?
Sure. Triggered abilities.
What are
Next question.
It's still not PCV for 1,200.
This is a video daily double. Beepril, you're going to click the cross right there. It is the infraction seen here.
Should I wager first?
Oh yeah, you got to wager first.
All of it.
How
many do I have?
Right now, 12,600.
12,600.
How much does Sean have?
8,000.
All of it. Go for it.
Dan, you're in the head. You're ahead.
We'll do 4,000.
4,000 points.
Hey guys, we're back with another versus video with Brad, and I am about to ranch him. My hand is insane.
Yeah, let's see it.
All right, here we go.
Just a champion, come on.
Get ready for a whooping, Brad. We got Burning Tree, Trigger, 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 Trigger. How many is that? 4. Mayor of Averbrook, 5.
So sick of your Todd.
Dude, there's no need to get violent.
Oh, I'm gonna get violent.
Dan?
What is aggressive behavior?
Yes, that is aggressive behavior. That is textbook aggressive behavior. Good job, Dan.
Thank you.
Next category, please.
Let's go with, it's still not PCV, 1600.
Standard grinder number 7. If you're
A
in the
player
final,
loses his or her deck and
please
must
come
find
to the
replacement
stage.
cards after the
Standard
round has
grinder
begun.
7.
Sean.
Sean?
What is deckless problem?
No. Dan or James? The answer is tardiness. Tardiness. Textbook tardiness. Sean, I believe you're still picking? Or Dan?
No, I think it's Dan, right?
Dan.
Oh, let's go, still not PCV, 2000.
Okay. A player is asked how many cards he has in his hand and answers 3. A few moments later, he realizes that he has 4.
Sean.
Sean?
What is player communication violation?
No.
I knew I was going to say the wrong one. I knew I was going to say the wrong one.
Dan.
Dan.
What is a communication policy violation?
That is correct. Yes. Good job, Dan. And notice it was not PCV.
I just can't spell.
That is the joke.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's good. It's good, Flats.
Dan.
Whew. Let's go with before and after 400, please.
These are fun. A water crossing in the capital of England that spawns 2/2 zombies whenever your creatures die. What is London Bridge from below? London Bridge from below.
See what you did there.
Now you have the gist of the category. We can
Good. All right. Before and after 800.
All right. This show follows the adventures of Twilight Sparkle across the multiverse after she ignites her Planeswalker spark.
Sean.
Sean.
What? I didn't buzz in.
Dan, I think you.
Look at James, all quiet over there.
No.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Nothing?
I didn't buzz.
What is My Little Pony? Friendship is Magic the Gathering.
What?
Before and after. You get it?
Boo.
You gonna try another one?
Yeah, 1200, fine. Better than flavor text.
This escaped prisoner of Azkaban uses deadly flowers to produce 3 mana of any color.
Dan.
Dan.
What is Sirius Black Lotus?
Yes! Black Lotus is the answer. Good job, Dan.
Okay, before and after 1600.
All right. This TV tells of how Ted fell in love with a white one-drop who always protects her children, helped by Barney Stinson.
Dan.
Dan.
How I Met Your Mother of Runes.
How I Met Your Mother of Ruins.
All right, before and after 2000.
In Bond's newest action flick, you can see this card that's banned for requiring dexterity.
Sean.
Sean.
Sky Falling Star?
The Sky Falling Star is correct.
Nice try, Dale.
You did not answer in the form of a question. I'll call you on it next time.
Okay.
Oh, it's going down.
We'll go flavor text for 400.
All right. Hans, run. It's the Lurgoyf. Sappy Eriksdottir's last words.
Sean.
Sean.
What is Lurgoyf?
Lurgoyf is correct. Don't be fooled. Not all the answers are in the clue this time.
Okay, well, I'll take a shot. Flavor text for 800.
Greatness at any cost.
Dan.
Dan.
What is Dark Confidant?
Dark Confidant is correct. Next clue, Dan.
Flavor text 1200.
Step 1, find your cousin. Step 2, get your cousin in the cannon. Step 3, find another cousin.
Sean.
Sean.
What is fodder cannon?
Fodder cannon is the correct of the cannons. Fodder
Flavor
cannon.
text for 1600.
Reaching a bit here. The correct answer to a barbarian's riddle is to choke on your cleverness and die. Does anyone in the audience know this one? Anyone? Stranglehold. Yes, stranglehold. It was only printed Commander. Sorry, guys.
Okay. Guess we'll try flavor text for 2000.
2000. Any dream is a robust harvest. Still, I prefer the time-worn dreams, heavy with import, that haunt the obsessive mind.
I know this one.
No one?
I'm not going for it. Come on.
Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize.
I didn't answer there. You sure? Okay.
Have to be honest, I didn't know that either.
Judging it regular for 800.
The second daily double. This is another audio daily double.
Okay. Yeah.
Featuring a special guest. Another special guest. How much do you have, Sean?
10,000.
10,000. Would you like to make it a true daily double?
We'll go 3,000.
3,000.
This is Level 5 Judge Toby Elliott coming to you from the floor of Pro Tour Gatecrash in Montreal with your audio daily double. It started life as a tongue-in-cheek comment, but this controversial three-word phrase has become the unofficial motto of judging at regular REL.
What is deviate like hell?
Deviate like hell is the answer to the daily double.
Number 10.
How many points does everybody have, Aaron?
Sealed grinder 10.
Right now, Dan is in the lead.
Dan is in the lead with
22,200.
Sealed grinder 10.
Sean's at 13,000.
Sean is what?
13,000.
13,000.
James is at 400.
James is at 400.
It's okay,
a lot of work to do, James.
Still a shot.
So, Sean. I believe
judging
we're ready.
regular for 1,600. That was the audio.
Yeah, 1,200 did disappear. We're going to forget about that. Accidentally flipping out a card while shuffling or forgetting to discard it classified as these at regular REL.
Dan.
Dan.
What are minor problems?
No.
No.
James or Sean? What are common errors? Common errors. That's what they're called in the jar.
Right.
Our last clue.
Last one.
This penalty can be given at regular REL only after repeated reminders for the same mistake.
Sean.
Sean.
What is a game loss?
What is a game loss? That is correct. Now that finishes our second round of play. So we have one more round of play left. That is Final Jeopardy. Go ahead and change your slide here. Now, what we have to do is note cards.
Standard grinder number 9. Your pairings are now being posted. Standard grinder number 9. Your pairings are now being posted.
James, they're in the bag on the floor. Now, what we're going to do
Aaron, if you're in the venue,
we're going to write down our
please come
names
to the side of the
and our wagers on a notepad.
Jeff
You're going to
Aaron,
give
if
them
you're in
the
the
stick.
venue, please come to the side of the stage.
And then we're going to reveal the clue. First off, we want to reveal the category. It's lupus. Come on, guys. It's not PCV. It's still not PCV.
Right.
It's lupus.
Yeah, that's next level.
Now that you know the categories, you can determine your wager.
Well, how much do we know? How much we have? Oh, you said how much we have.
You have Sean is 15,000. Dan is 20,000.
Players in sealed grinder number 16. Your pairings are now being posted. Players in sealed grinder 16.
1,000.
Your pairings are now being posted.
No danger of that. Can you actually bet with money you don't have?
No. Well, you can bet 1,000. You bet 16.
Everybody's ready? Turn them into Stickney.
I'm peeking.
Now, let's take a look at the clue. Recently, this deck gained notoriety for its use of a non-determinate loop using Basalt, Monolith, and Mesmeric Orb. Can you start the music, please? You have 30 seconds. Stickney, if you can give them back their wagers, please. All right, James. James, since you're in third place, let's reveal your answer.
I did not know what the deck was.
Do not know, okay. And your wager was?
100.
100, so that brings you to 300 points. Who's in? There's still a chance, Stick, who is in second place?
Sean.
Sean, what is your answer?
I put, what is PCV?
PCB is not the correct answer. What did you wager?
I wagered all the money.
All the money.
That's right.
All of the money. So Sean is at 0. James, you are still in contention. Let's go to Dan. Dan, what was your answer?
My answer is, what is
Grinder number
4
12.
horsemen?
The 4 horsemen. That is correct. What did you wager?
Seal grinder number 12.
I wagered 3,000.
3,000. That brings your total to
Seal grinder number 12.
23,600. Dan Stevens is the winner of Judge Jeopardy. Good job, Dan. I'd like to thank the contestants. I'd like to thank Stick and B. Prill for your help. I would like to thank the SCGLive crew. I would like to thank Charlotte Sable and B. Prill for helping me with the questions. For SCGLive, I am signing off. Thank you.